Hello, beautiful people. It's Gwendolyn here from your virtual admin expert, and welcome to Leading Behind the Scene, your weekly dose of inspiration to equip you to excel in business and life. Before we jump into the episode, I wanted to make sure that you know enrollment is open for the Mastering Your Success Mastermind. We just started a new cohort a few weeks ago, and these ladies are already gaining clarity and working towards some big goals. This is a highly curated group of women coming together for support, feedback, and collaboration. The only thing missing is you. So if you have been looking for opportunities to brainstorm your business ideas and challenges with people who can help you go from idea to execution, this mastermind is for you. If you have been looking for accountability so you can finally stop just talking about what you want to do and actually do it, this mastermind is for you. And if you're looking for a community with no judgment, then this mastermind is for you. So head over to masteringyoursuccessmastermind.com and get your application in for consideration. So we are still talking about building a business you love with some of my fellow support professionals. And I'm really enjoying this topic because I love all the different perspectives and gems that these ladies are dropping. And it's Black History Month. So I get to also highlight some of these beautiful Black women in this space, which is always exciting. So, having the business you want, one that excites you, that makes you wake up on Monday morning with a big smile on your face, that lets you do what you love the most and brings you growth and fulfillment is always the goal. So, today, me and my girl Nicole, we are just going to chat about this whole building a business thing. Let me tell y'all about Nicole. Hey, say hey, Nicole.
Hey, y'all.
So, Nicole helps female founders, course creators, mastermind hosts, and coaches double their email list and access 5 and 6 figure launches by creating sizzling virtual summits to launch their awesome offers. With her team, she helps create and execute Oprah level summits and subsequent launches from A to Z. When not helping women create their 5 figure summits, you can find Nicole sitting VIP at a Backstreet Boys
What?
concert, of
What?
course, after COVID, because I better not catch her out there doing COVID though. I'm just saying.
Nah, we good. We
Or
good.
eating lunch in a big rig truck with her husband. So, if you're looking to unleash your rockstar status and create a cascade of leads, connections, and revenue from your next launch, then consider Nicole Ware your biz girlfriend. So, Nicole, me and you are like the hell no sisters in the mastermind group.
Yes, we are. And one of these days, we're going to get our hands slapped
I
for
know.
the nonsense that we do in that group.
But until then, we will keep with the shenanigans.
Yes,
Okay?
we'll keep telling people no. Oh, you need to no, like
Yes.
fire them. We'll keep saying that.
And we have so much fun. So, tell me about your journey to becoming an entrepreneur and more importantly how you like became the virtual summit launch strategist. So tell me about that.
Well, the funny thing is, okay, I'm a full-time registered nurse as well. So this, although people are like, oh, this is your side hustle. No, 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 no. This is my full-time love. And at some point, I'm going to become a side hustle nurse, is what I'm going to do at some point. It will
I love that.
switch. I'm going to do a side hustle nursing. Anyway, so I was going around this pre-COVID, being a nurse, and quite frankly, I just was like, I need to be creative. I need to have fun. I need to,
Mm,
and nursing doesn't provide creativity, wiping people's butts, giving them medication. Occasionally you'll get something real serious, but I needed creativity in my life where I can just create something and it be mine and put it out there in the world and see what happens. So
mm,
I kind of got into the entrepreneurial space. I mean, probably just like anybody Googling, VA, what is this? What's that? And, nothing really kind of stuck until I started looking at virtual summits. And this is pre-COVID again. It
mm,
was, it was before all this went down and everyone started doing virtual summits. And I was like, oh, you can create an event online. And because I had created events for my nursing school, I'm also an instructor at nursing programs.
nice.
And I had created these events where we put people together live in one room. And I was like, oh, that's so much fun. I could probably do that in the virtual space. And I tag teamed with a girlfriend and we created our first event. And it went well. Like the authority she built, like all of a sudden people were coming to
Wow.
her for that. In some ways she kind of was like, I don't really want to be known for this. You know, she kind of pivoted like, wait, a lot of people are coming to me for this and podcast things. And, you know, but and more people were on her list. Obviously, I definitely think she
Yep.
doubled her list. And even like the platform that we use came to us a couple months later, like, what did you do? How did you get the success you did?
Wow.
Which was crazy because I was like, we didn't do that much. Like, like what was it that
You
we
were thinking
did?
like, what you talking about?
I was like, I don't know. And it was funny because she was like, well, I didn't do that. Go to Nicole. And I'm just telling honestly, like, well, you know, we built relationships. We were cool with people. And they're like, so tell us about the ad strategy you use. And I'm like, we didn't do all of that. So anyway, so in all, I got into virtual summits just by essentially happening upon it, thinking, you know, that's a good fit. I think it's something I want to try.
Wow.
And then I kind of grew it into what is Fempreneur Online now. At the beginning of 2020 is when I really started saying, this is a thing. I need to grow it. Let's get
Wow.
customers. And then COVID hit. And then everybody was like, yo, we gotta have a virtual summit. Is here, we gotta, I can't have no live events. Oh no, we need to have a virtual event. And just last year, especially when the pivot was happening, it was a lot of teaching people what a virtual
Mm,
event was. It is not
that's
the
true.
same. It is not the
As a
same
live event.
as a live event. So we had to teach people what it was. How do you monetize from a virtual event versus a live event? You know, how to make it work. So it definitely was a little bit of a shift in the atmosphere of virtual summits, but that's my story.
Yeah.
Let me shut up.
And no, and it's a labor of love, right? Like for us who are in the online space, we know all the things that go into a virtual summit that people don't necessarily think about. Like they think it's like, oh, put up a Zoom link and then there it is and it happens. And I'm like, yeah,
No.
but what
For
about the other 199 things that had
right.
to be done in the
if it
background?
if it is a good event that really provides content and they do it with integrity, there's a lot behind that event.
Absolutely.
Strategy, planning, you know, interviewing, a lot of behind the scenes that goes on.
Technology, like
Technology.
all
There's
of
a
that.
lot of stuff that goes behind those events. It's not just pay me because I did this event. No, no, no. It's a lot. And I had to tell some people, no, I can't work with you. Like,
Oh,
I
now
can't
that's
work
a
with
good
you.
question. So, how do you decide who to work with? Because we know as virtual support professionals, we've learned that you don't have to work with everybody that wants to work with you. So, how do you decide who to work with on these
Okay.
virtual summits?
And this
Because
is
they
the
are a lot of work.
Yes. Okay, let me just say this because a lot of people, especially when you first start out, you feel like you have to take anything and everything. It
And
comes to you, I
everything.
got to take it. Where's my next check going to come? Let me just take it.
Like
But
I gotta eat.
yeah, I learned so hard that not every check is a good check. I also learned very hard the people who's like, well, I love your service. I love what you're about. I love all these things. You had this conversation. Um,
That's why I'm laughing right
they
now.
they blow you up about how amazing you are, but I just can't afford those prices. Okay, then you can't afford me. I mean, like, but it can't. Oh my goodness, so long for me to realize that I cannot support everybody.
Yep.
I just can't. I can provide the information and the
Yep.
content. I can do those things through social. You can, follow me on Instagram. You can do all these things with me if you want to learn more information about summits, but I can't do DIY, or excuse me, do it for you, DFY. I cannot do it for you if you cannot afford the service.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I can't change my pricing so you can afford the service. And
Exactly.
I started coming up with a list of signs that that person is not the right person.
Mm.
Yeah. Like
Do tell. Do tell.
one, when they say, I can't afford your prices. That,
Like, oh my God,
number one.
girl.
Number one. I
Why in the
go,
beginning do we not catch that as a red flag? We're like, oh, well, what can you afford? What's your
Yes,
budget? No,
yes,
no, no, no,
yes.
no, no. Just stop the conversation.
Stop and go and say, okay, understood. Well, let me make sure that I send you some resources of things that might be better for your budget.
That's good.
And who to Sola, bless and release. Here you
That's
go.
it. And my
You know,
mom would say, release them to their higher good.
release them, release them. But look, I release them to an affiliate link. They can
Mm-hmm.
sign up for this. They can sign up
Mm-hmm.
for that, and all of them are affiliate links. So I could possibly get some money from that
Mm-hmm.
interaction. But I don't have to support because they can't afford me. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And they
And that's okay.
and that's okay. And they told me it too. So, but that's okay because I want to support them in other ways. I want to follow them on Instagram. I want to maybe, whatever, retweet. I say retweet, it's repost something on my stories that they're promoting. I want to still get to know them and support them,
That's
but I
good.
cannot support them in a DFY, done for you service.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
good.
cannot.
That's good. And you hit on something so good about having that conversation when people like come with all the compliments and how amazing you are. There's one thing that always sticks in my head that my mom always says is people value you until there's a dollar amount involved, until they
Mm-hmm.
have to pay for your services.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you learn what they really value. And I
Yeah.
was like, hmm. Okay, so give me another sign. What's another sign?
So another sign is going to be any sort of, I don't know, personality quirk. For instance, I had a client who, we had really just come off a meeting with another client. It was really a high meeting. We were excited, blah, blah, blah. We were a few minutes late. I will grant that. I sent an email saying, hey, we're going to be a few minutes late. We're with another client, blah, blah. We were on a high. We were getting all the things. And to me, it's like if you expect it from, we're doing it from one client, we'll do it for you. We'll make sure you get everything you need. But that particular
Right.
client needed something from us, and we weren't going to just drop them. We went to the next client meeting, meaning me and my COO, and we got chastised. I think it is very unprofessional that you guys would be 1 minute late. And I think that, you guys should, it's not okay that this, and I was like, are we
Whoa.
getting chastised? Are we getting chastised? Like, and we got off that meeting like she's psycho. Like, and you know what? In retrospect, I should have said, this will not work out. Thank you very much. I will refund your money. I think these are
Mm,
better fit people for you. Because for me, making sure that all my clients are taken care of, and we let her know what the issue was, that we are with another client, that we need to make sure we
yeah.
stay in this space. We were going to get to you. We're going to make sure we go through all the things that we need to go through with you, and nothing
Yeah.
will be left unturned. We will provide that same service to you. It started off on a bad foot, and
Wow.
it's something in my gut said, give the money back, give the money back. And not only that, the full payment of the package was not even there. I reduced a rate
Oh,
for that person. That person got on because they said they could not afford. So remember
wow.
number
So remember
one?
number one.
Number one rule? Now it's coming to
Wow.
bite me because that same person is now telling me that I'm unprofessional. I'm this and that and this and that.
Where if you would have just said in number one,
I would have
sorry, there needs
never
to be.
got to number two. I would have never had
Yep.
that experience. My COO would have never had that experience. You know what I'm saying? It would have never happened. We would have cut it off
Wow.
at the pass.
That's a gem right there. So what do you love most about your business?
Look, let me give me one more because I think this is
Oh,
another one.
okay. One more. Let's go.
One
I love
more,
it. I
one
love
more.
the
No,
gem.
one more. When everything is dependent on this service, their money, their hopes, their dreams, everything is dependent on it. They're like,
Girl, you are preaching right now.
when this is my last dime, I'm putting everything. And I've had a client like that as well. And I didn't in my gut say, this is not right for you.
Because they're expecting you to be the savior. And I always say, like, we're going to come in and support you. We're going to be a business partner with you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how much money you make is not my fault. Like, how much money you make or don't make is not on me. Like, because I don't know if you didn't know how to sell your program. I don't know if you
Speak all
actually
truth.
know what you're talking about when you get in front of the people. Like, I don't know if you made the content like you were supposed to. It could have been your content writer who didn't write your message right. Like, I
Your
don't know.
copywriting, your website, whatever the case,
But
ask
what you
everything
not
you
gonna
just said.
do, what you not gonna do is put that on me. That's what you're not gonna do.
Every single thing you just said. And as a virtual summit, we can put all the pieces together of a
Yes.
great summit. And sometimes they don't get every part of it. So they don't order
Mm.
the copywriting because they think they can do it themselves. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. No problem. But the fact of the matter is this is the strategy. And if not all strategy pieces are together, then it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the same outcome
Right.
as everybody else. So
Right.
we have to be very, very realistic and provide expectations. So that's the third one. That's the third one. When their
That now
last
that was a good one.
dime.
So I'm glad you. Yeah. That
Please
we're gonna have to
don't.
come back and do a whole nother conversation on that one
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
good.
Please don't accept that one. It seems like they seem very desperate. The desperateness, they scream desperate. It's the last dime. You're going to help me resurrect something that was dead. I'm not Jesus. I'm not
Lead
none
it,
of
girl.
that. I'm
Nicole,
none
don't
of
you
those
start with
things.
me. Do not start with
Sorry,
me. We are.
Gwendolyn. You know how we.
I was going to say we are not in the mastermind chat right now.
Sorry, I know. Okay, so this is professional. Come on, this is professional.
Okay, we're gonna behave. Side coach should be proud of us. Okay. So, what
Love
do
it.
you love most about your business?
I love the team aspect of it. So I know you and me, you know what's going on there.
Yes.
I love building a team and just supporting a team. That's what I
That's
love about it right
amazing.
now. So it's like before it was definitely, and I still love having the client interaction. I still love getting in there, supporting the client, giving them that emotional support because there's a lot of parts of virtual summits that are very emotional
Yes.
and mindset driven. And I love providing those things, but I also love providing opportunities for my team to shine.
Yeah.
So if somebody says something, I'm like, that's all Taryn. That's the CEO. She's amazing, isn't she? Look how
I
people
love
come
that.
people come back to her to try to hire her. And she's like, nah, nah, nah. Like people try to hire her because they
Uh,
know I put her on shine. I make her like, look, she's amazing. And she does the same back for me. But for team members that do well, I like to put them on blast of being
I love
amazing
it.
and all those things. Yeah.
Whew, I'm getting there. I'm in this building team mode too, girl.
Me
My
too.
COO
Me
is
too. Trust me. Trust me. I don't have the
manifesting.
team fully there, but it gets fun when you have a team. It gets even you
It
become
really
that
does.
COO. It's fun.
It's
That's the
like
moment.
I am for real, like running a whole. I told my mom I'm like for real running like a whole business right now.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yes. Like it's not no fake thing no more. Like it's
No,
not a hobby.
yes,
It's not like, oh, this is a side hustle. It ain't no side hustle. Like these are people. These are
this is
people a
real
part of
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I have to ask this question because, we have all of these pieces that we love. Because for the most part, like 98% we love. There's always like that 1 to 2% thorn. So, what do you love least about your business?
Keeping up with the financials.
Ooh, child.
I cannot stand any of that. I did hire somebody for it. So that's part of my team now. So I hired somebody for it, but there's still some parts where they like, nah, come on, Nicole, you gotta look at it at least. I'm like, no, you tell me what to do, but she's like, you gotta at least look at it. You gotta participate in your own financials. I'm like, okay, fine. But I think personally, when people are like, oh, let me talk about the money. Once you start getting to a certain level, of making certain amount of money in this business, it becomes different. It's not just, I'm paying myself. It's I'm paying people to do a
Other
service.
people.
I'm paying other people. For a while there, I really was looking at profit first. Well, then it's like, well, now I got a team. So how that work? So
Girl,
so it becomes difficult to do them percentages, like, and that,
you be
and
like,
like I don't know, like how much can I pay that person for that, and it becomes different, when you start adding the team members and stuff. So financials have for the most part never really been fun, you know what I mean? And people are like, oh, well, you're making more money, isn't that exciting? More money, more
Mm,
problems, honey.
and more operating expenses, okay?
Yes,
Like
yes, yeah. And that's something that I think people don't realize. Like them
they
operating
don't.
expenses, you're not just taking money off the top anymore. You gotta pay people. You gotta make sure that all your systems are paid and that
And
sort
your
of thing. Yeah.
technology increases, right? People think because we're virtual, we don't have overhead. Like we don't have as much overhead as somebody in a physical space,
Mm,
but we still have overhead because when our team expands, like even our technology expands, right?
yes.
Like I had to increase the package on my project management system because I
Mhm.
needed to add more users because my team grew. And then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like I forgot that I was gonna have to pay that other little hefty price
And it's funny because once you get
when
to
this
that one
person came
time,
on.
yeah, that little free thing didn't work no more. I was like, wait, I gotta pay? Like, in order
Girl.
it goes to this amount of free, and then you gotta start paying for it. And I'm like, oh, dang on it. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
And people don't understand that. So before we go, what would you say to the entrepreneur who is like struggling to build a business they love? What
Well,
would
look,
you say to them?
I hope that nothing we have said discourages
Has
you.
discouraged you?
It's the nonsense we put out. I hope
Really do love this. We really do
we
love this,
really
y'all.
do. But honestly, I would, if I didn't, it'd be gone. Trust and believe that. But what I would say for those who are maybe struggling is to keep with it. Be consistent. That's the one thing that in the beginning, whenever I was kind of trying different things, I was not consistent. But when I
Mm,
found my thing and I
yeah,
stuck with it and I kept going with it. So virtual summits was my thing,
yeah,
it worked. But when you're kind of jumping and like, well, that didn't work for 10 minutes, like, oh, well, I'm gonna be VA. Okay. Well, I didn't get any clients after 10 minutes that I can't do it. Wait, like, did you put any, like it takes time to jumpstart a business. So don't quit after 10 seconds of saying you're gonna do
yeah.
something. And I would say that struggling part of it is a mindset shift in investing in
Mhm.
myself. I really did make I've never been cheap, so I'd be like, Psh, let me put money on that. But but I've never been a cheap person. So like VIP, come on. But I think you have to change the mindset of investing in yourself, not just with money, but with your consistency.
Yes,
I'm investing in myself by putting
yeah,
this time in. I'm putting time into something.
yeah, that's
So
good.
invest in yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Nicole, thank you for being my wing woman today. You know, we always have so much fun
We caught
whenever
up. That's what it
we
is. I
are.
want one
I know,
day.
whenever we're in the same, one day we'll behave. I think when
No,
Tasha smacks our lunch,
she,
and
yeah.
until
One
then,
day she gonna tell us to stop, but until then,
then we'll just keep with the shenanigans.
I love it. It's okay. It'll be
Yes.
okay.
Well, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining us. It is possible to build a business that you love. So if you have an idea that can solve a problem, go for it. I'd love it if you would hit like, hit share with anybody else that you think would enjoy it. Be sure to leave a comment. Tell us what your key takeaway was. If you have any questions or tips or experiences, leave them in the comments. We love engaging with you. And be sure to follow me on all of social media at Your Admin Expert and subscribe to the email list on the website at yourvirtualadminexpert.com. Nicole, tell the beautiful people how to connect with you.
Yes, go to Fempreneur Online on Instagram if you want to get my DMs and say that, tell me you listen to this episode and you're all about the shenanigans too. Please let me know. But that's a great way to get with me. If you are interested in virtual summits or creating a virtual summit, go to fempreneuronline.com.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you next week for another segment of Leading Behind the Scenes.